Well, the Colorado Buffaloes are the talk of the town, and Deion Sanders is getting praise from some people. But on the other hand, your boy Jason Whitlock is crashing out. Jason Whitlock is a fanboy, and he's losing his mind over Deion Sanders. But before we get off into today's podcast, tell a friend. Well, it seems like Jason Whitlock has took it a step further. Now, you know that Colorado and Deion Sanders right now is the talk of college football. And what Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes is doing is spectacular. After finishing last year 4-8, and all the criticism and all the people that came out and said that, you know, this Colorado program is irrelevant, the likes of Paul Feinbein, Danny Cannell, and you know how critical Jason Whitlock has been of Deion Sanders. But what's going on right now, we covered a story yesterday about how Shannon Sharpe really let fire off into Jason Whitlock and really called him out. And around this time of the year, this is when Jason Whitlock strikes. This is when Jason Whitlock comes out of his hole and starts talking about Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, you know it's well documented what Jason Whitlock has said about Deion Sanders. Like Shannon Sharpe said, calling him a false prophet, questioning his Christian beliefs and things like that. So Shannon Sharpe really, exposed Jason Whitlock yesterday. So today I came across something that Jason Whitlock has now said on his Fearless podcast. And this all comes on the notion of the talk that Colorado is getting from these major media networks and everybody giving Colorado and Deion Sanders its praise. And Jason Whitlock is not here for it. He's talking about y'all jumping to conclusions. You're going too fast. Pump your brakes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play for what First Take was discussing earlier today about Colorado and their chances to make, the college football playoffs, and they got a chance to run the table in these last 3 games. And then we're going to follow up with what Jason Whitlock said on his Fearless podcast pertaining to all the remarks surrounding around Deion Sanders in Colorado. Let's take a listen. Roll the footage.
Point favorites. Shannon, do you believe Colorado is going to make the CFP?
Yep, and I hope they do. Because all these people that we're talking about, they were going to leave the country, Stephen A. and Paul Feinbaum. If President Trump was reelected, they're definitely going to leave the country if Deion Sanders make the college football playoff. I've never seen so many people openly root for somebody to have.
They were lying about both.
I've never seen somebody just. Huh? Yeah,
I said they were lying about both.
They're going to leave with time. If time. Stephen A., can you imagine a man that went 4-6 and somehow gets his team to the Big 12, win the Big 12, go to the college football playoff? Oh, they leaving. Because what else can they say? They couldn't say anything about him when he actually played because he was historically an all-time great. Now we got to take it out on his kids, 17, 18, 19-year-olds. Got to get the vitriol because it's leveled at him, even though he's not playing. Yes, what they did, and look, they come home, they play a very tough Utah team that won a game against, I think they beat BYU last week, but they're not the Utah that we're used to seeing. Man, he has this team playing very, very well. Webster, they're more than Travis Hunter. Webster can catch it. They got a number 14. I forget it. Can't call his name off the top of my head. The offense and the defense. Warren Stafford, the D coordinator, the defense.
And it's
he has those guys
Wester.
Coming.
Webster.
I like what I'm seeing. Shador. Yes, they're going to the college football playoffs.
Yes, I believe they are as well. And let me say this, Paul. I'm going to say this right here on national television, okay? This team lost 6 straight last year, 7 of their last 8 games, finished the season 4-8, and were projected coming into this season to finish 11th in their conference, okay? To me, primetime Deion Sanders is the coach of the year.
Wow.
I'm thinking about Travis Hunter as a leading candidate for the Heisman.
Everybody giving him praise now.
And I'm going to take it a step further. Are you ready for this, Paul? I'm going to make people very, very uncomfortable here. Primetime has shown we know the brother can recruit. We know what he is. You talk about the greatest cornerback in the history of the National Football League, okay? This brother is Deion Sanders and the job that he's doing. Are you ready for where I'm going today?
Let's go.
Are you ready for where I'm going, Shannon? Ready for where I'm going, Paul?
Stephen A's crazy.
Where you gonna put him at? Where you putting him at?
I
him with the
believe
Dallas Cowboys.
that the Dallas Cowboys
Should tank
the rest of the season. Get the #1 overall pick.
By talking about the incredible season that the Colorado Buffaloes are having. They're 7-2.
I want y'all to pay attention to what
everybody's
Whitlock is
gloating,
saying.
everybody's beating their chest, and everybody's pointing a finger at me, saying, "I told you so, Whitlock."
They're exposing you, Whitlock.
You owe Deion an apology. Whitlock, you've been out of line. Whitlock, you're crazy. Yes, I am. I am crazy.
He just admitted
I'm
to you
not going
guys
to apologize.
that
I'm
he's
going
crazy.
to predict,
He's doing this for fun.
and
He's
I mean
a troll.
this in all seriousness. They're going to lose 2 of their next 3 games, and might lose all 3. I'm not sure why that video is playing over my shoulder, but they might lose all 3.
Talking about they're going to lose the
Utah,
next 3 games.
Kansas, and Oklahoma State.
He's really trolling.
Oklahoma
He's a
State is
fanboy.
0-7 in the Big 12 Conference. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not
He's a troll.
bluffing here. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. If
This is where the
the
fanboy
Colorado
comes out.
Buffaloes finish better than 8-4 in the regular season, I'm going to fly myself to whatever bowl game they're playing, dress myself in Colorado gear,
He just wants
and
to get a
sit in the
glimpse of
stands,
Colorado,
no matter
that's all.
where it is, and cheer on the Colorado
He's a
Buffaloes.
true fan.
That's how confident I am that people
Jason
are
Whitlock
gloating
is the
too
definition
soon.
of a fanboy.
I want to be crystal clear here. This statement about them losing 2 of their next 3 games is not a statement that says Colorado has not significantly improved from a year ago and that Deion Sanders deserves credit for that. He does.
They only here
This
to cause
team
confusion.
is improved, and I was wrong about the level of improvement they would see in year
Boy, it's
2.
funny.
Dead wrong about that. Their
You wanna
defensive
big 'em up,
front 7
and then you want to turn them down.
significantly improved. Very stout
Whitlock,
against
Whitlock,
the run.
Whitlock.
Their wide receiving core, the group of them, probably the best in the country. LeJohntay Wester is probably their best wide receiver, and that's saying a lot
Wow.
when Travis Hunter is one of those wide
That's
receivers.
his dislike for Travis Hunter. Now, you heard what Jason Whitlock had to say, man. It's almost comical now. I just had to cover it today because, like I said, you know, people was DMing me seeing, did I see what the latest on what Jason Whitlock had to say now, you know, wagering a bet if they lose the next 3 games. And then if they win, be 8-4, he's going to go to the bowl game setting Colorado gear and things like that. That's the definition of a fanboy. And his dislike for Travis Hunter continues to show because he said LeJohntay Wester is their best receiver. LeJohntay Wester is a star receiver, but come on now. Travis Hunter is their best wide receiver. That's why he's in mention with the Heisman class. He's a 2-way player. You know, he does it both on offense and defense. And Jason Whitlock just keeps making a mockery of himself, man. And people are now to start to expose Jason Whitlock for who he is. Jason Whitlock, he has an MO. And like I said, it's always around this time because y'all know last year he was hot and heavy on the Deion trail. Now Colorado's winning. Everybody's talking about him. National media spectacle, national media attention. That's the headlines on all the sports shows. Now Jason Whitlock wants to come in
They only here to cause confusion.
and cause confusion. And that's what Jason Whitlock is doing. So you guys let me know what y'all think about the latest podcast on what Jason Whitlock now has to say. But Jason Whitlock is losing his mind over Deion Sanders. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Turn your post notifications on so you'll know every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger. And we out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.